Hey everybody, got to get used to doing this again. It has been a minute. Well, actually, it's been quite a few months. A lot has happened. Um, to go over what happened, I left Quartzsite at the end of March. Traveled through, of course, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. While in Texas, I stopped at Magnolia Beach, which is just south of Houston. It's in an inlet in the bay, so you don't get a lot of waves. And the beach was hard packed sand, so you were able to uh, park your rig uh, maybe 10, 15 feet away from the surf, which was pretty cool. 14 days free camping, boondocking, of course. You have to be self-sustained, which I am, and still am, as a matter of fact. And it was just gorgeous. After spending the winter in the desert, which I absolutely loved, I didn't see my first scorpion until 2 days before we left. And what happened was I was picking up the carpet that was down for most of the winter outside my rig. And there was a little baby scorpion there. And as soon as he or she saw me, she just started going wah, 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 wah. And that was it, history. See you later. Have a nice day. May she rest, or he or she rest in peace. So anyway, spent the 2 weeks at the beach. It was gorgeous. Solitude. Well, people are coming and going, but you're right across from the oil refineries, which is, maybe not the most picturesque thing to see, but when you've been in the desert all winter long, it's water, it's ocean, it's pretty cool. Uh, then I made my way to uh, Thunder Canyon in Ider, Alabama, where I am today. I did an experiment on the way over from Quartzsite, and my goal was to reach Ider, Alabama without paying for a night to camp. As it turns out, New Mexico and Texas, the rest areas, you can stay for 24 hours. And there was some nice ones, especially the one right outside Las Cruces. It's up on the hill overlooking Las Cruces. There is a big iron sculpture of a roadrunner there. It is just a beautiful rest stop. It could well have been a campground. It was so beautiful. An inner ring for all the rigs, for all the RVs, and an outer ring for all the truckers. Beautiful place. So I boondocked all the way between rest stops, and then when I started hitting the populated areas, I was hitting Cracker Barrels. So I made it after 2 weeks at Magnolia Beach. I made it all the way up to Ider, Alabama, staying at Cracker Barrels or rest stops, and didn't pay for a single night uh, at a campground, which was an experiment to see if I could do it. Um, I had eventual plans to stay here for a couple of months and then head north to Jersey to see relatives, and then to Illinois to see more relatives, my sister, as a matter of fact. And that got derailed. When I got here, my first thing was to set up an appointment for the dogs to get them set up on their shots. Uh, they've been taken care of, then I started taking care of myself. Uh, it turns out I was more worried about my dental work because I had gone to Algodones in Mexico, which is supposed to be an inexpensive haven to get dental work done. And I'm sorry, those guys were like 20 years behind the times in the technology and everything. My buddy and I both went, and we both got hit with 4Gs, 4 grand. They wanted to pull out half my teeth. Anyway, my dental work is done, and I didn't get a teeth pulled, or tooth pulled, as a matter of fact. So, to say that properly. And at a much less than 25% of what they wanted. So much for Algodones. I won't be going back there anytime soon. Uh, so anyway, here I am. Got the dental work started, and I'm, doing things in my rig, setting it up for being at a campground with amenities because I don't have a lot of room in my truck, so you have to constantly move things around. As I'm doing so, I'm experiencing chest pains. Uh, so right away I go to the doctor. I see a doctor here. I get my blood work done. On a good note, after being on carnivore all this time, the only problem with my blood work was my cholesterol was 241, which is 41 points over the high that they allow of 200. That, I think I attribute that to I was maybe not as consistent as I should be when I was at courtside, especially as I was getting ready to travel. Uh, the carnivore was, I was introducing carbs back into the diet, sugars, and that was not good. You have to be consistent. Um, so I'm back on it now, as a matter of fact. So anyway, the only medication they prescribed me was rosuvastatin at 10 milligrams, which is still an improvement over what I was taking a year ago out of Orlando at 40 milligrams. And that is currently the only medication I'm on. I take supplements, vitamin C, calcium, magnesium, zinc, D3, B12, of course, omega-3. I haven't had a cold in maybe 8 years. So whatever I'm doing something right. But I am 65 years of age. So while my heart checked out, EKG was fine. I did the stress test. That was fine. But then my regular physician saw something in the blood work. So I had to go see a neurologist. It turns out that my prostate, which I knew was about twice the size of a normal prostate. Uh, as it turns out, I didn't get all the testing that I should have gotten done when I was in Orlando. They didn't tell me I needed to get it. So now I'm going to get a biopsy this coming Monday. On the one hand, it's not that the blood work was not that bad that maybe they think I have cancer, but on the other hand, my prostate is super huge. And that could be simple or it could be cancer. Now, I am not worried if it is cancer, if it's progressed. Uh, life is what it is. God will take care of us. What I worry about most are my two dogs here, who are both adopted and quite temperamental. And something were to happen to me, I'm sure they would not make it. And that breaks my heart more than anything else. So as far as being fatalistic, life is life. I'm 65 years old, much closer to the end than to the beginning. So anyway, biopsy on Monday. I have to wait another week after that to get the results, and then we'll see what happens. Now, going back to what was causing my heart, or what I thought was pain in my heart, it's good old anxiety rearing its head. 7 years as a sole caregiver for the most part. My sister did help, but for the most part it was me, and it takes a toll. And I don't regret doing it. I took care of my parents. They both died at home, whereas they couldn't have afforded to, because of the maladies that they had. They couldn't be put together anywhere without, being charged a price, $15,000 a month or so. So it was my honor and pleasure to do that, but at a cost. My anxiety, now that I don't longer have the chest pains, I'm getting the breathing problems that I had back in Orlando. They come on. I'm trying to figure out the trigger. There is no specific trigger that I figured out. But the closest I can get to it, because it does come and go, and once I'm concentrating on something, I'm breathing again. I'm not worried about it. What I think it is that my body, or my mind, shouldn't say my body, my mind, and concert with my body, is it's, what do you call it? Anxiety, PTSD, whatever. It's real, and it's rearing its head and causing my breathing. It can happen now. What's funny is, because of carnivore, I'm no longer on my CPAP machine. So at night, I'm breathing fine. If it wasn't for my prostate, and that sometimes I get up every hour. Other times I make it through a whole night because, again, I'm taking supplements for that. For you guys that have uh, prostate problems, I'm taking a supplement you can buy at Walmart called Saw Palmetto. I've eliminated every medication except for the statin, which was just prescribed to me. And I'm sure the next time I get my blood test done, sticking to this carnivore diet, that I will probably be on no more meds. Uh, so that is good. As far as the prostate, it's the prostate. Now, uh, the saw palmetto, and again, I don't know the rhyme or reason why some nights I can sleep right through, other nights I can go every 3, 4 hours, and like last night it was up every hour, on the hour. In fact, when I go see the urologist on Monday to get my biopsy done, I'm going to ask him, is stress or anxiety, could that contribute to it? And, I got breathing exercises. Um, I'm fortunate here at this beautiful campground, great people. Thunder Canyon Campground is owned by the RV Odd Couple. They also have a YouTube channel. They were full-time RVers. Great, they treat me great. We have Bible study here twice a week, which is awesome. And I'm getting to know things about the Bible that maybe the Catholic Church didn't tell us about a lot. It's right there in the Bible, but you don't look at it because we weren't reading it. And now I'm reading it and learning quite a bit. And also learning quite a bit about myself. Right now, barring what happens with the urology report, everything is so far good health-wise. But I did have to put a brake on my traveling because I don't know what's going to happen. Now, on the flip side, if you're looking behind me, this does not look like an A-liner. Well, it got to the point where I loved my A-liner, and I love the fact that when I had everything up, no matter which way I looked out of that coach, I had a view because of all the windows. The lack of a bathroom never bothered me because I made do and I improvised. I was probably more sanitary, excuse me, than most people that have bathrooms. But there were 3 things that were of a concern. Number one, I had no storage space. When your whole life is in your truck and your rig, and then you're constantly moving things around, even on a daily basis, and I didn't have maybe 100 square feet of space, and I would lose my phone every time I put it down because there's just so much stuff there. And then, of course, with Cece and Princess over here, we're tripping over each other in the rig. And I live in this thing full time. So I started investigating whether I could actually make a trade. I was worried about one thing, 2 things actually. First, I'm a citizen, I'm a registered voter citizen of Arizona right now. Well, I'm in Alabama. How was I going to buy it out here and then get my registration transferred? Well, called Arizona. Turns out that they love the money from the RVers. And when I get my MSO for my new rig from the dealer in a few days, I'll be able to call Arizona, get the exact figure I have to send them, pay them, and then mail them the MSO, and then they will send me back my registration. The second reason was just getting all this done, and as far as, and in fact, I even bought the rig in Georgia, so here I am in Alabama, bought it in Georgia, and getting it plated in Arizona. But it all worked out fine. The campground helped me out. I was in a smaller site to begin with, and it turns out that this new rig is 12 inches wider than my old one. Now, the old site I was at, where they were very small and kind of angled down over the, as soon as you step out. So if I'd have stepped out of this rig with an extra foot, I probably would have been tumbling and falling down, and dogs probably would have been cracking up having a good time. They moved me into here we go. Now, I got to learn all this camera stuff, guys, so just bear with me. I'm not going to have to walk with this thing. There we go. Eventually, I learn how to edit. put music in here and all that stuff, but for now on, bare bones, and I'm sure I'm going to hear it from some of you guys. Anyway, these are the premium sites of Thunder Canyon. Okay, right here and right below a knoll, right up over behind those trees is the brand new chapel that was built. Of course, here are Princess in the white and brown, and then right in the back is Cece right there. And these are the premium sites. I have my own little little circle there. Here's my truck. Here are the sites around me. There's the next tier up on the ridge there. No trees. But right now it's kind of quiet. It's going to start filling up in the next week or so for the 4th of July. We're going to have a big celebration here. Of course, if you look at my shirt, the theme of Thunder Canyon Campground is God, family, and country. So there's my truck. And now turning around, here is my 2024 Sunset Park RV Sunlight LTD 19 RK. Essentially, it's a 19-foot box, 22-foot overall with the tongue. RK stands for rear kitchen. I do have now a motorized awning, which I didn't have before. I don't have the windows that my last rig had. But my old box was 12 feet long. This box is 19 feet long. That's 7 feet in length on the interior and a foot in width. Quite a bit of room. I still have my side mount air conditioning unit, which I love because I can then run it with my solar generator batteries. Now, the dogs are wondering why they're not eating yet, but they gotta wait because I gotta get inside. I'm gonna show you the inside of the rig. Okay, here we go. Let me get some lights on. Here's my kitchen. Look at that sink. Very fair-sized sink. Look at that, 2 cupboards there. Right? Look, I got all. You know, it's like I'm in a playground here. Look at all the stuff I got. Cafe Bustelo, way to go. Get charged up. Storage down there. The dogs have their own drawer for their food. There's my heater below. Here is bathroom head, whatever you want to call it. Mind you, everything is still in the storage stage. I do have some bins I'm putting in, but I'm putting everything away. Full shower. 12-volt refrigerator, freezer. Operates off 12 volts, so which my last fridge that I had in my A-liner was the same way. Here now, I opted to not go with a dinette, so I have this sofa right here that will fold down into a bed. Of course, I got to have my pictures. There's me, my certificate of recognition from Donald Rumsfeld, and photo, which I had in my old rig, but mine was halfway destroyed. One of my boot camp brothers, who I communicate with, sent me this fresh one, and these are all the guys I went to boot camp with in my platoon, H Company, Platoon 3008, Parris Island, South Carolina. There's my AC, more storage, and a short queen bed. So instead of converting a sofa with hard cushions, now even here, I had to switch out the mattress because the mattress that came with it was terrible. So I just got yesterday a 8-inch memory foam mattress. There are the windows I have. I have a closet for my coats. Underneath my bed, there's a door connecting to the outside. Is my what we call a basement in the RV industry. Even though it's not a basement, but all my stuff is under there. I got my stuff close to the door that I need on a daily basis to operate outside. Over here underneath, I got everything else. And then down here, are my Blue Eddy batteries. I have 6,000 watts of solar generated power right there. An ice maker. And here is a counter that folds down. Right now, again, I'm still in the organizing stage. But this counter, well, I'm going to try this again. I made a mistake inside the coach and I accidentally cut off the recording. We got most of the tour, but not all of it. So now I'm going to try to go over what I went over before. But anyway, and it was a good one too. So I'm sitting here talking to myself recording, and then I realized that I actually wasn't recording. So I'm going to add this to the first video. But in a nutshell, what did I go over? I'm going to start doing recordings every week, if not more often. Once I get my medical cleared, I am going to start taking trips outside of Thunder Canyon and also start going around Thunder Canyon and show you guys what the campground looks like. In addition, I'm going to show you just driving around Alabama, because you're in a mountain area here. So you're going up a mountain, down a mountain every time you want to go somewhere, and it's just gorgeous to see. Additionally, I've been driving to Fort Payne and Scottsboro for my doctor visits, but in Fort Payne I see a sign all the time that says the Alabama Museum, and I'm like, great, the state of Alabama has a museum. Well, guess what? It's not the state of Alabama. It's the musical group Alabama. Well, I'm going to be going there, and I'll take you guys with me, and if they'll let me film inside, I'll show you what is there. And I want to get more involved, and I think it'll help me with the anxiety, because I got to do something. You know, I don't want to take any meds. I do the breathing exercises, but I guess I'm going to have to get involved, because when I am involved in something, I don't have a problem breathing, so it's all mental. So I'm going to get more into it. I do have this iPhone with this app where I can take double pictures. I have a camera installed in my truck, and I also have a DJI Pocket 2 camera that I got refurbished, and I got to play with that, but that I can take anywhere, put it in my pocket, and I'll be using that at the 4th of July celebration here. I also have a drone. It's not one of the big drones, but this is just a personal drone that will follow me. I program it, and I can take a walk, and a short walk. The batteries don't last too long, and it'll follow me around, and you can see from a bird's eye view what I'm doing. So I've got that coming up. Any questions you guys may have, as far as anything you want to learn about me personally, anything you want to learn about camping. I'm not a pro, but I'm doing this full time, and I'm very thorough. I was studying this for years during the pandemic, taking care of my parents. That's when I first got into this lifestyle, and I started doing a lot of research. And you can learn through my errors, and I made a ton of them. I'm on my 3rd rig right now, and this is probably the one that I'm going to be done with, because I don't need much. I want to be small and be able to be self-contained, so I can go just about anywhere. No, I don't plan on going deep into the desert or the woods, no. But there may be times I go places where you don't have any coverage, where there are no facilities. And then I'll be able to still live comfortably, you know, feed myself and the dogs, take care of our personal care needs, and just look at this beautiful country. So any questions you guys have, complaints, let me have it. God bless all of you, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.